Oh, hey guys, regular guy barbecue. We're just sitting here hanging out. We just did a pack opening video, and we opened 57 packs of what do they call this? Vivid Voltage Pokemon cards.
Pikmin.
Pokemon. Is that what it's called?
I don't know.
Vivid Voltage Sword and Shield Pokemon. Now, 57. That's almost a box, or just over a box and a half. That's a lot of packs. And we did a pack opening video about that. But one thing that, people have been bugging me about lately, and I understand why, is they want to know how to build a Pokemon deck. So as we were sitting here kind of sifting through these cards and looking at what we got, thought, we got the cards out. We've got quite a few cards out here, so let's take a look at them. Let's see what we can do to build some sort of a deck. So, step number 1 to a deck, you must have 60 cards. You can't have 59. You can't have 61. You may only have 60 in your deck. Unless you're playing in some modified version of a tournament or whatever, but we won't worry about that today for this purpose. Now, the second thing you got to remember is you can only play 4 of any card in your deck except for these basic kind of energies. These you can play as many as you want, so I could theoretically play 59 of these and one of those, and that would be a deck.
I've done it before.
It'd be stupid, but you can do it.
I got in trouble.
It doesn't work very good, let's just say that. So what I usually will do, if I have a limited resource of cards, or if I only have a certain amount, and you don't have to use them only out of one set. You can use them out of all kinds of sets. Now there will be other limitations at tournaments, like you only play certain age cards. Usually it's the newest cards if you're playing in a modified format tournament. Some old school tournaments you can only play up to a certain age.
I'm sure they changed a lot of it since we played.
Exactly. It's been a while for us. So, but what I like to do, if I have this amount of cards to look through to try to build some sort of a deck, I'll sit down and sort things by colors and then by families. So you can see here we have a 1/1 Wooper Quagsire line. That guy evolves into that guy. So then see over here we have 4 Fanfees, which would be a good thing, but we only have 1 Donphan. Donphan. So that makes that a little tough to play. Riolus, we have 5 Riolus, so we could play 4 of them, but only 1 Lucario to evolve it in. So as I look at this pile of cards in front of me here, we have 1 of these Clobopus, only 1, and then 2 Grappalots, or whatever it's called. So that would be tough to even build that. We have 4 Drillburs and no Excadrills.
This isn't
Wait,
bad.
isn't Excadrill metal?
I think he is.
Where's my metal stuff? I'm going to look for that one real quick.
Metal rock.
Oh, sure, there he is. Look at there. There's an Excadrill. And there's an Excadrill. This might actually be the basis for the beginning of a potential deck. Now, again, see, here's the thing, guys. Like, only having 1 Donphan to go with this, technically I could put that in a deck, but what are the chances that I'm going to draw that 1 Donphan out of my deck when I need it? Well, your chances are 1 in 60 because you have 60 cards in your deck. And then you can subtract how many you come out of. Oh, look at that. Boom.
Nice.
We got 4 of them. Cool.
Get the rest of that junk out of the way.
Get all that junk out of my trunk. So we have 4 Excadrills. So we can take our 4 Drillburs. See, there's our 4 Drillburs, right? And they evolve into Excadrill. So we can even play them right there. So there's something we can use in our deck. Now I'm going to pick these up and put them back where they belong. Yeah, just not one thing at a time. Okay? We're gonna put all this other stuff back where it belongs as far as the non-hollow rares and all that kind of stuff, so we can keep our piles kind of separated in an organization. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, when it comes to dealing with your cards in general, organization is crucial, especially when it comes to deck building. Because if you can't find a card that you think you have, how are you going to build a deck out of it? Well, I know I have one somewhere.
Like we were just looking for the Excadrills.
Yeah, we couldn't find the Excadrills because we were looking in the wrong pile, but now we found them, so we got something to build
Woo.
with. Woo! So, what would be the next logical step? We went through all the fighting guys, we only found the Drillburs, and then we've got the Excadrills, which are metal. So the logical next step in my eyes would be to look through metal guys and try to find metal guys that can go along with him. Because let's face it, if you're playing 6 different colors of Pokemon and you need 6 different colors of energies to make those guys go, what are the chances that you're going to get the right color energy with the right color guy? Thin. But if you only play 1 or 2 kinds of energies, that will help you out quite a bit. Now, there is one exception to that rule, and that's the colorless guys, or this kind they call normal. You can use those guys with any kind of energy. So we'll take a look at him as well, just to see if he's any good for our purposes. And then we'll also look at in this pile and see if there's anything in here. Like that guy's metal, we can look at him. He's metal, we can look at him. He's colorless, and he's colorless. So we'll look at all those guys to see if they fit into it. What do you want to do with that now?
See if there's anything in there.
I'm working on it. I only got 2 hands.
Ah.
Okay, so we're going to look through here. Snorlax, once during your turn, if this Pokemon is active, draw cards so you get 7 in your hand. If you do use this ability, your turn ends. So he might be something you could use at the beginning of a deck, but I don't know. Tornado says Jet Draft does 30 damage and discard a special energy from your opponent's active. Air Slash 120 and discard an energy from him, maybe. There's another one of those. Here's Duraludon. 30 plus 10 more for each damage counter on this Pokemon. 20 plus 10. Discard an energy from him, so he's not too bad. Shuffle your hand into your deck, then draw 6 cards. 20 more damage for each of your opponent's bench. So we've got a couple of choices we could add to this deck, potentially, because we're either going to be using metal energy or, you know, these guys either can use metal energy or no color at all.
Too bad there's not more no Dialga. That thing's really good.
He's okay. I'm just going to look through our other metal guys. Now, I won't show you all the cards, but I'll try to show you all the guys. There's Meowth, Metang, Ferrothorn, Beldum goes there, Ferroseed goes there, Ferroseed, Beldum, Stunfisk, Metang, Ferrothorn. Now here again with these Beldum and Metang. Hello. Alright, get over with, come on. We only have 1 Metagross to make the stage 2 evolution out of that. So the chances of us using that are pretty thin. But we go through and check everything anyway, just to make sure.
I love Metagross.
Yeah,
He's
Metagross
so
is awesome. I love that. He's one of my favorite dudes too.
He's really good in the video game.
Yeah, he is. And he's really good in my deck that I have from the days gone by too. Yeah, see now when we get through this here, you see we have all these Meowths, but we don't have any of the Berserkers that go with him. So again, we just search through our rares because we have them separated the way. Yeah, see, there's the Metagross. And I'll pull him out just for fun.
I think the Berserker's in dark too.
It might be. I don't remember. I gotta look through it and see. Oh, we have 2 Metagross.
Ooh, that might actually
We have a Fortress, but we don't have. There's the Berserker right there.
He is fighting. I mean,
Yeah,
steel.
steel.
Whatever color that
He's
is.
this guy right here. So we'll look through the reverse foils, see if we have any more. We don't. We'll look through the regular foil rares, and we don't have any in there either, but that's okay. So now we've got a couple of things to look for. So a 4-1 line of him again probably isn't going to be very beneficial to us, so we'll put that aside. Ferroseed, we have 4 Ferrothorns. Ferroseed does 10 and switch. Ferrothorn does, this attack does 30 more damage, does 30 damage for each metal attached to this Pokemon, and switch him.
Yeah.
We're always looking at abilities and attacks, and if there's any bonus things that attacks do, try to...
Look at everything on the card.
Okay. So this Stunfisk, you look at him, normally you think, oh, he stinks, he's terrible, you don't care about him. If this Pokemon is in an active spot damaged by an attack by your opponent's Pokemon, even if the Pokemon is knocked out, you put 3 damage counters on the guy that attacked you. And then during your opponent's next turn, they can't retreat. You do 90 and you, for 3 colorless energies, 90 and they can't retreat. So he's actually not too bad.
I played 4 of them.
So I'm going to take 4 of those guys out, and I might put those in my deck, just because they're pretty good. Pretty good. The Metagross says your opponent or your Pokemon in play have no retreat cost.
I'd do a 3/2/2.
Wow, that's really good.
Especially with metal. Metal always tends to have high retreat.
Right, exactly. Yeah, like otherwise he's got a 3 retreat, 2 retreat, 3 retreat,
And
3
that's kind of
retreat.
convenient. There's only 2 because you really wouldn't need more than 2.
Right, you only have 1 in play.
That's
at a
something
time,
you only need
so,
1 of.
Yeah. So that it's got some potential. It's not great, but it's a supplemental guy. Now, something else that I didn't cover at the beginning of this. Generally speaking, when I try to build a deck, I'm looking for around 10 or 12 basic Pokemon to start my deck off with. And the reason I want about 10 or 12 is because that usually gives you the mathematical odds of getting at least one when you draw 7 cards out of your deck. So we're going to cancel this Ferrothorn. He has potential, but we're going to get rid of him.
Not enough.
Not enough. So we got 2 of those. And we might throw... Oh, look at this. Now check this out. The Beldum has Call for Family.
Whoa.
Okay? Now that's an attack that's been used on a lot of guys throughout the years. Call for Family lets you search your deck for up to 2 basic Pokemon and put them on your bench.
Suddenly, that's a lot better.
So suddenly that card's a little bit better. So we're going to play 3 of those. And we're going to probably play... You think we should play 3 Matangs or
2?
Probably 2 Matangs.
Because the Beldum you really only need for the attack.
Right, I almost even think about playing 4-2 if I have
If you have stuff like trainers and stuff that can discard.
If I have the room, I might do that. So
pardon my arm there.
yeah, so we've got those guys, and then we've got these Stunfisks. And again, if you look at the Stunfisk, if you're going to use it for some kind of a backup attacker, he's got a 3 colorless energy attack. So you can use any kind of energy you want, even though he's metal type. So that's a good thing too. So that gives us 11, that gives us 12 basic Pokemon. So we're probably going to just call that good enough right there.
What do those guys do though? Since they're basics with low attack.
Yeah, this guy's got 90 HP. Shuffle your hand in your deck and draw 6. 20 more damage. 10 plus 20 for each of your bench Pokemon.
At that, I'd rather start with the Beldum or
I
the
tend to
Dialga.
agree. He's got 20 less HP, and he's got the Call for Family. The Overhaul, maybe 1. We'll put 1 in there. Just to see if we run out of room, he'll be one of the guys that we'll cut.
What does he do?
So shuffle. Oh, this one. Discard a special energy from your opponent's active, and then discard an energy from this Pokemon.
Nah,
It's not insignificant.
Meh.
All right.
It's actually pretty decent setup.
Now, some sets will have special energy cards. You see how we have some special energy cards here? Now, the stone energy would go on these guys, but that's all they would be good for in this deck, so we don't really care about that. Now here's a coating energy. Now see how this is a metal energy? We've got 3 of them, so there's something.
Match the pictures.
Right. See how this picture right here matches that little picture in the corner? That means it's a metal guy, and this is a metal energy. And it says as long as this card is attached to a Pokemon, it provides metal energy. This metal energy metal Pokemon has no weakness. So in theory, with our strategy behind this deck, this gives us no retreat cost. This gives us no weakness.
Helps against fire.
Right,
Everything's weak to fire in this deck.
Exactly. Except him.
Shut up.
So we'd be looking for 1 more of those, and we could probably, like if we went to a league or something, we could trade for that. No big deal. All right. So we've got our Pokemon, and we've got 2, 10, 14, 17, 19, 21 Pokemon in the deck. It's a little higher than what we normally would look for in a deck, but it's not terrible.
If we need the space, I'd get rid of one of these and the Mike
Perhaps. You know, if we run into a spot where we need the space, we'll do something like that. Now, the next step we're looking at is trainers and supporters. So, again, we're very limited because we only have 1 set in front of us to try to find trainers in. So we're literally just going to separate them by what they are and see if we can find stuff that is conducive with our deck. Now, once again, we can play a maximum of 4 of any card, including trainers and supporters, in our deck. So we're going to look for the best ones that would give us the most advantage in our deck to use. Make sense? Makes sense? Makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, there's a lot of trainers in this deck.
It's a big set.
Well, yeah, there's 185 cards in this set or something like that. It's crazy. You see B anywhere?
No.
How about A?
Let's see.
A, B, C, D. Careless. Careless.
Careless.
Careless.
She's careless.
That's funny. I like it. Okay, we're getting down there to almost having this stack sorted out, and then we will go through these with you and show you what they do and tell you why we choose the ones that we end up choosing. Now, I've looked at this Heroes Metal, and this deals with VMAX cards. We don't have any VMAX cards in our deck. Gone. We don't even choose to look at that one. This one says your opponent reveals their hand. If they do, look at the top card of their deck. It's just a stupid card. There's really no reason for it in this deck. Rocky Helmet. If you use this as a tool, you attach it to your Pokemon. If somebody attacks you, you put 2 damage counters on them. Has potential, not great potential in this deck, but potential.
Could be worse.
Okay, so this card is Beauty, and this card says if you go first, you may play this card during your first turn. Draw 2 cards. So if you don't go first, can you not use that card? Is that my understanding of that?
It says you may play this card during your first turn. May play.
Because normally you can't play supporters if you go first. Okay. So
that's just an addition.
Basically,
to
allows you to draw 2 cards. Not terrible, not great. Draw 3 cards. If you drew any cards this way, discard up to 3 from your hand. Potential. Careless. Search your deck for up to 2 rare fossil cards. Well, we're not doing fossil Pokemon, so that goes away.
And that's immediately useless.
Yep, that's immediately useless. Put up to 4, any combination, water Pokemon and water energy from your discard pile into your hand.
Well, we're not using water.
We're not using water, so we can count that one out. This one's called Chichester Bath. See that one there? All basic Pokemon yours an opponent, takes 20 less damage from attacks. Because our deck runs a lot of evolutions, we probably won't use that one because it would actually help our opponent. Whenever your Pokemon player plays a VMAX from their hand, we can't really use that card either because we're not playing any VMAX. So that goes out too. See how this gets a little bit difficult when you're only limited to dealing with... Oh, okay, so this is Opal. Opal?
Opal, YouTube.
Opal. Flip 2 coins, search your deck for a number of cards up to the number of heads that you flip. Put them in your hand and shuffle your deck.
I would hate that.
It's not a great card because it's a coin flip, but we'll see what we get. Memory Capsule. Says, Pokemon this card is attached to can use any attacks from its previous evolutions. Maybe? I don't know what that...
I'd rather use the Rocky Helmet.
I kind of think so too. Draw 2 cards, and if Windon Stadium is in play, draw 2 more cards. Okay, so that makes Windon Stadium a little bit more useful. And we do have a couple... No, that's a VMAX card, right?
Yeah.
No,
well...
Oh, yeah!
Well.
Oh, that's a VMAX, though, right? These got to be VMAX.
Forgot about these guys.
Yeah, okay, let's take a look at these. We forgot about these cards. I forgot. You forgot. But these aren't VMAX. Okay.
No, but they're still... Might help open more.
All right, well, let's look at the Jirachi first. Now, we forgot about our ultra rare cards that we pulled earlier out of the boxes. And this is Jirachi. Okay.
Let's see what he does.
Yep. I'll read him what he does. So his ability says once during your turn, this Pokemon is the active spot. You may look at the top 2 cards of your deck, put one of them into your hand, and put the other on the top of your deck. For a fighting, a psychic, and a metal, search your deck for up to 7 basic energy cards and attach them to your Pokemon in any way you like, and then shuffle your deck afterwards. See, that's the problem with that guy is you got to get 3 different kinds of energy on him right at the beginning of the game, and that's going to take 3 turns minimum to do.
And that's really only useful right away.
By then, he's kind of knocked out and useless. So here's our other 2 metal guys that we got. Now these are V's, they're not V Max. So if we had the V Max that went with this, we would play the Windon Stadium and use that. And then we'd also use the league staff to go with it. But since we don't have that, we'll move that out of the way.
That would help with this more.
That might, yeah, that's what I was saying earlier, yep. So this Steelix, I'll show you that quick there, does 10 more damage for each damage counter on this Pokemon with Raging Hammer, 30 plus 10. And then the Iron Tackle does 30 to himself, 5 energies, he does 210 damage. Now, you lose 2 prize cards when you lose one of these guys. So you have to be a little bit careful about how much of this stuff you use.
But that's why they have so much HP.
Right, that's why they're so big. And then, you know, so then we look at some of the guys in our deck and it's like, okay, what would we take out? I don't know if I'd take anything out here. We could pull a couple of Stunfisks out.
I'd pull a Stunfisk and the Marigina,
yeah,
whatever.
So we'll pull that out and we'll pull that out. Okay. And again, this is trial and error a lot of times with this game. So you literally need to put things together, take them apart, put them together, take them apart. Put them apart, take them together.
Hours and hours
and countless
hours.
All right, so we've changed 2 Pokemon in our deck, no big deal. B, discard the top 5 cards of your deck and attach energy cards discarded in this way to your benched fighting Pokemon in any way you'd like.
We only really have the one.
Yeah, and
Maybe that's a good one of.
maybe if you hit it early, it might be good. We'll see. Telescopic sight. This attacks the attacks of this Pokemon attached to the 30 more damage to your opponent's benched V and bench GX. So if we've got any bench attackers, the ones that attack their opponent's bench guys, and they have Pokemon V and GX, that might be something worth looking at.
Let's see if we got any.
So let's go look at our deck and see if we've got any. That guy doesn't attack the bench. 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 Nope. Nope, none of our guys attack the bench, it looks like. So that's unfortunate, but that would be cool to use that. Unfortunately, in this purpose, doesn't help. So we're going to use B. We're going to use the Rocky Helmet. We're going to use Moo Moo Cheese because it takes 30 damage off of up to 2 Pokemon that have energy attached. So that's a good thing.
The Moo Moo Cheese.
Moo 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 Moo. I don't know if I want to use Alistair.
I mean, you don't really have much else for freaking supporters.
Yeah, I know. It's just a lot of stuff to...
You don't have to draw.
No, we don't. No, well, yeah, you do if you play, you draw.
Oh, it says this card up to 3.
Up to 3, yep. And then you have to throw away 3. Or it's up to 3 and up to 3. So I would assume, yeah. Okay. So we'll play that. This is pretty much going to be... This helps us, right?
That helps Steelix.
Yeah, and the other guy that we had,
Yeah.
the Alga, yeah. Memory Capsule probably wouldn't do us much good. So we got 4, 8, 10, 14, 17, 23 trainers and supporters. It's not a great amount.
You said 21 Pokemon.
Yeah, I think it was 21. Let's recap that. 2, 3, 4. I can't count. 3, 5, 7, 10. 14, 18, 19, 21 Pokemon. Okay. 21 Pokemon, and that leaves us with 23, did I say, right? 4, 8, 11, 14, 16, 20, and 23. Okay, so 23 supporters and trainers and things. Now that's very low for my standards.
Yeah.
Very low. I usually shoot for about half the deck to be trainers. But for these purposes, that'll work just fine. Now the last thing we're going to need is energy. And since we have 21 and 23, which puts us at a grand total of 44, that leaves us for 16 energy, right? Right.
Left.
Left. So you can play any basic energies. We could actually play double colorless in this deck. In theory, if we had
with
it.
how much energy it takes.
If we had any, we could play double
Honestly,
colorless.
this kind of high energy count's not bad for this deck with how many.
No.
It would be nice if we had more Dialgas.
Yeah.
That would make the flow better.
Probably.
We'll have to pull a different deck out to show flow.
See, guys, what we're looking for when we're building a deck out of cards like this is we're looking for synergy amongst the cards. And I will show you a deck that has synergy to it a little bit later in the video. But this is a basic idea of how to build just a regular random old basic. Look, I can play at league deck and probably play and win a few games.
Play against kids.
Yeah, you're playing against
kid deck
new
for kids.
players, other adults, if you're an adult, which you probably are if you're on this channel.
Last time I checked, I was.
Teaching your children how to play this game, things like that. This would be a great deck for that. So we'd be looking to get, see, we've got 8, so we'd need 8 more energies for this deck, and then we'd have it complete. So I'll tell you what we'll do is we'll shut this off. We're going to go get 8 more energy cards. We'll probably sleeve this deck up and kind of show you how it plays out. All right? All right. So here we have our 60 card deck, and we put it all in sleeves. Now, you always want to have your sleeves be universal in color, size, shape, and condition, because that way you can't tell what the other card is.
You're not a cheater,
Well, right, because like if I had my super rare favorite card in this deck, and I put them all in these black sleeves, and I had one like that in there, I'm probably going to know where that card is every time, you know? So, yeah, you must have them all in good sleeves, and I recommend getting good sleeves. Don't use the cheap ones, because they're never going to hold up like the good ones do. Like, I've got a set of sleeves I had on one of my decks since 2007, and they're still on there. So, and they're because they're good sleeves. All right, so you're always going to start every game off with 7 cards, and we're going to go through more of the game mechanics in another video, but just to give you a rough idea. Okay, so what I'm looking for is a basic Pokemon.
Show your hand.
I'm gonna put the basic Pokemon down. Normally you put it face down, and this is what my hand looks like, a little bit of everything going on. So I would put him face down. That's going to be my starting Pokemon. Next 6 cards go down as prizes, and they go over there. We decide, figure out who's going to go first, yada, yada, yada. We do that. And
Have you go first,
and then we
just
start,
for
because I'm the
show.
only one playing. So I would draw a card. Look, there's a Beldum. Nice. I'm looking for that one trainer or supporter that I put in my deck that lets me play a supporter when I go first. Unfortunately, I don't have it. So I'm just going to attach an energy for my turn. I guess I'll put it there, and we will pass because I don't have anything else in my hand I can play. My opponent would go. It would be my turn next. There's our Steelix. We haven't hit the things that we need yet, so we are going to...
When else is due?
Yeah, exactly. So we're gonna play Opal, and by rights we'll pretend that 50% of the cards or coins that we flipped would give us heads. So we're gonna search our deck for a Matang because we need to get our Metagross out as soon as possible. So we're gonna do that. Always shuffle after you look through your deck, off your opponent cut. Again, we'll go through mechanics later on. We're not too worried about that right now. We'll attach this to him, and we'd pass for our turn. Maybe, draw another one. Okay. Let's play the Moo Moo Cheese, pretending that this guy and this guy got hit, takes off some. We're going to draw 3 cards, and then we can discard up to 3 cards from our hand. 1, 2, 3. We didn't get what we needed, but we have to discard 3, right?
Mm.
Is that what it says?
Up to 3.
I discard up to 3. Well, I don't need that. And I really don't need that right now.
You don't have to discard 3.
Okay, well, we'll just do 1. We'll put another energy on our guy.
Big thing with Pokemon, read the card word
exactly
for word.
what the card does, that's right. And it takes time to learn. So we'll pretend that he got knocked out this turn. Push this guy up. Okay, there's our bath. There's our stadium that gives us 20 more HP on a basic Pokemon. He's a basic Pokemon. So that's a good thing to have. So we'll attach another energy just cause. Play another Alistair to draw 3 cards.
It's 20 damage less.
20 damage less, you're right, I'm sorry. And I have nothing that I need, so we'd use his Raging Hammer. Whatever it does damage.
Damage counter on this Pokemon.
And we're not finding the card that we need. So we'll play another Opal, pretending that we get 1 heads again. We would search up the Metagross. Now all the guys that I have in my field have no retreat cost. So this is kind of where this would come into play, because again, if we're pretending that this guy is...
See, he's got 4 retreat.
Yeah, he's got a 4 retreat cost. Now he's got a 0 retreat cost. And just for the sake of the argument, I'm just going to go through my deck and look for some things that I haven't drawn yet, but whatever.
It's definitely a clunky.
Yeah, it's going to be a clunky deck. But it gives you an idea of what you can do with a deck. And we built this out of pretty much nothing. Here's a tool we can attach for our turn. Rocky Helmet, so if they hit us, they take damage back. So there's that. And we just keep going through. Oh, there's that one. Okay, I like that one. That's a fun card. We'll play that one. This is the B card. Discard the top 5 cards of your deck and attach them to any here. We'll just put him on the bench just for the sake of the purpose of this card. So we play B and we discard the top 5 cards of our deck and any energy cards that show up there. Any energy cards, not even basic. We can attach.
Broken.
Yeah, that's kind of good. So we got 3 of them.
Ooh.
Okay, we throw those away, and we got 3 that can go on this guy. So he suddenly, instead of 1 energy a turn, we got 3. Look at that.
And he's all ready to go already.
So he's already powered up and ready to
and
go.
guess what? You can retreat for free.
Right, and I can pull him up and start hammering away with that guy. So it gives you an idea of how the deck's going to work. It's
supposed to.
It's a little clunky, but for something we just built out of 1 box, having no cards from another set, having nothing else to build with except for what we pulled out of that box and a half today, we got something that works. So, thanks for joining us here. We're going to be doing a few more Pokemon videos to just give you kind of a basic understanding, a little more of how the game works. You could probably watch other people's videos and probably get more in-depth details. But we're just trying to give you the basics, just so you can get started if it's something you've thought about doing. If your kids like Pokemon and want to play and you want to play along with them, this will give you the opportunity to get some insight and from an adult point of view of how this works. Thumbs up, share, like, subscribe, ring a ding, and all the good things we know that you like to do. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll see you on the next video.